There he is. How are you? Good. How you doing? Doing well.
Hey, my name's Lauren, over here.
Oh, I can up here. You got it.
I got plenty of them, I can go over, but I was just trying to get set up.
Good. Copy for y'all.
Perfect, thank you so much. Good, how are you?
Lord. Very easy, very simple. See. Morning. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was good. And you know, I'm glad you said. But that team not gonna look the same next season. I think that was their one shot. Yeah. Yeah.
Good, how are you?
Good.
She wanted to walk the ball, so she is.
Oh, yeah, morning. Oh, yeah. Hard time getting your hand.
That goes there. I bet I know which one it was.
I know it wasn't the one I thought.
Oh, really?
Scott, what do you know?
Slayton and
Oh, no.
Bostic, was that interesting?
That was the unexpected.
Oh, really? Yeah, that was the one I was really anxious to hear the first time. I see. Yeah.
Underestimate yourself.
Yeah.
That's what being 2 years old, be sure.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good, how are you?
Hold on. All right.
David, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine. Practice tonight?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Always. Always got them smile. At least we'll have the cutest grandbaby.
He'll be here in a minute. Correct. Got it, no.
Exactly. I would say that I have the cutest grandbaby in California. Please don't argue that point.
It might be the cutest.
See?
I just said it wasn't no more special than the other grandbaby.
Thank you for being here. If you'll stand, we'll be led in a word of prayer by Commissioner Melton. Remain standing for our pledge.
Let's pray. Father God, we lift you up this morning, give you praise and thanks, Father, for all the blessings you give us, Father. We thank you also for our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Father. Father, be with our meeting today. Give us discernment and wisdom to make the very best decision we can for the citizens of this great county. Continue to lead and guide and direct us. We'll give you the praise in it all. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. I call to order the Vanzant County Commissioners Court meeting to order on Wednesday, February the 16th, 2022 at 9:02 a.m. We do have a quorum. All members present with the exception of Commissioner West. He will not be with us today, but we do still have a quorum. Item number 2, discuss and consider dispensing with the reading of the minutes of the meeting of the Commissioners Court, approval of same for December the 22nd, 2021, January the 5th, 2022, January the 19th, 2022, January the 21st, 2022, and February the 2nd, 2022.
So moved.
Got a motion? Is there a second? Okay,
I'll explain why, if you want me to.
well, let me make another call for a second. Is there a second to approve the minutes?
I'll second. I think we can cover his question and discussion.
Okay, got a motion, got a second. Okay, any questions, discussion, corrections, additions?
Yes, sir. I would like to approve December 22nd. That's all I had time to read. I know the office has been working on it real hard, but I haven't, just got them last night at 6:30 and I wasn't here. And then I found a mistake on January the 5th. So I'm good with the 22nd is all I can vote to approve.
Okay. The motion was for all
Yes, sir.
all the minutes. Second was for all these minutes, to approve all the minutes, all the, that was a motion.
Well, we
Second,
can, what is it that needs corrected, Keith?
Well, there's on one deal on the 5th. Now, I hadn't read the 19th, 21st, and the 2nd, but on the January the 5th, there's just a typo where on the road donation, we left out where this road is now in precinct 1. It just says it's now in precinct, and the 1 was accidentally left out, and we need to get that in there.
So I revised my motion to include that to fix that mistake. And to
Okay.
include the phrase that Commissioner.
okay. So your motion is to approve all of them are just the 22nd in the field?
My motion is to approve all of them with including the correction.
Okay,
on
correcting
the
that.
field.
Okay. That's your second.
Does that work for Commissioner Pierce?
We'll have to vote. I can't vote for it. I hadn't had a chance to look at those yet.
Approve them all, you want to approve the ones that said chance to review and table the rest for him to review.
My motion is to approve them all with the correction that Commissioner Pearson has mentioned.
We can come back and make corrections to the rest of the next meeting, Cal, if we need to.
No, they would need to, I mean, we're approving them today. So motion, I have a motion by Commissioner Melton to approve all the minutes with the correction on the January 5th, adding the precinct 1.
Mhm.
To correct that typo.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the motion. Do you second that? Is that a second? No, don't second it. Okay. So we, okay. So we don't have a second. We don't, so motion died for lack of second.
Right.
So we'll have to make the corrections of the minutes and get them to bring all them back.
Can I make a motion?
Yes, yes,
I make a motion, we approve December 22nd and January the 5th with a correction where they're gonna add the one on where we took a $7,868 donation on road repairs, that road is now in precinct 1. That is only two. I make a motion, we approve.
okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Pearson. Is there a second? Is there a second on that motion?
That's December 22nd, and January 5th of correction.
That's correct.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to go ahead and approve December the 22nd, 2021, and January the 5th, 2022, with the correction of the typo added precinct 1.
That's correct.
Okay. Any questions or discussion, corrections, additions?
So you haven't read the other minutes? Then you just want to,
Yeah, we'll have to get them later. I mean, I've been busy this morning, only had an hour to look at them. But I've got to those and found that.
Any other discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We did approve December the 22nd, 2021, and January the 5th, 2022 with the correction. Item number 3, discuss and consider approval of county bills for payment as submitted.
So moved, Pearson.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pearson. Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Pearson. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions or discussion? Kenny?
I got one. We got an invoice here that's listed for Wallace and Moore. It's the bond for Mr. Monk who's filling in precinct 1 constable. In the bill, we got looking at it here, it goes through the expiration is January the 19th, 2026. Now, I don't know that he's gonna be here though. I don't know, he may not be. But I don't think we need to pay that full amount. I think it just come up and I know we're gonna take it off, but at the same time, I think we still realize, well, he has to be bonded. So I think what we're gonna have to do is go back to them and figure out what we need to pay for 1 year, instead of going through the whole. So I think we need to take that off. I don't know. It's kind of limbo. We're going to get a hold of them. It just come to my attention to figure out what, I don't think we need to pay the $177.50. But at the same time, I do realize we need to pay something because he needs to be bonded. So
I amend my motion with it to pay the bills with exception of one that Kenny just mentioned.
Okay. Okay, that's a motion. Is there a second? Well, that's a correct
Amended motion.
amended motion. Is there a second to the amended motion?
Second.
Okay.
Good enough.
Okay, the motion is pay all the bills with the exception of that one for Constable Monk's bond. And we'll get that,
What it needs to be.
Christie, you won't get this back to Christie?
Mr. Monk.
Monk, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who that's,
You said Constable Monk.
okay. Mr. Monk and Christie can work with Wallace and Murray on getting that straightened out. Any other question or discussion?
Do we need to go ahead and give Kenny permission to pay it once we get it straightened out? Because that's one of the stipulations when you swear in an elected official is to have a bond.
They need,
Well, maybe we need, maybe we need to prove, I don't know what that amount is yet, I just like to, it's come to my attention right before I come in. But it's gonna be something, I don't know what it's gonna be. Now, maybe, because like she said, maybe approve whatever that 1 year total is, I don't know. And then
My understanding is that when you're on that, you're gonna do a 1 year bond.
That's correct,
Yeah.
because it is possible to change in November.
How much is that 1 year bond?
well, that's what I don't know.
We don't know.
So I just found this out right before I come in here. I'm gonna have to call, see how much it is.
But it won't be more than that.
Yeah.
it won't be.
No, it won't be more than that, because this is for 4 years.
You can approve up to that.
177.50, yeah, maybe we can pay up to that, I guess.
Okay, I'm in my motion. Third time. We pay the bills
That way we can go
and
ahead
allow Kenny to
Find out what
investigate
it-
this and pay up to
find
that
out what it
amount
is
for
to get
for
it
1
paid
year.
for 1 year. Cover. That's-
Okay, state your motion.
I make a motion, we pay the bills except for the one for Constable Monk's bond and allow Kenny to investigate that and use his best judgment to pay 1 year's bond on that.
Okay. That's a second amendment to the motion.
That's correct.
Is there a second?
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner LaPrada.
Be a long meeting.
Gonna be a long day. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 4, discuss and consider ratifying of county bills as submitted.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Melton,
Second, Pearson.
second by Commissioner Pearson. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. General business, is there any general business we need to be made aware of? Anyone have any announcements or anything? I know early voting's going. Tabitha, you want to cover that? What the times?
Yes, sir. Early voting is going on. It started on Monday, the 14th, and it will go through the 25th of February. It's been 8 to 5 all of this week. It will be 7 to 7 on Saturday. Sunday, the polls will be open 11 to 5. The polls will be closed on Monday, but it'll be open 7 to 7 Tuesday through Friday. And so far, our total number of votes for the last 2 days before I came in here were 517. So,
Okay.
any questions?
Kind of low.
Kind of low, kind of low.
Any other, thank you, Tabitha. Any other general business we need to be made aware of? Okay. Being none, we'll move to item number 6. Scott, did anyone sign up? No, we didn't have anyone sign up for public comments. We'll move to item number 7, discuss and consider and approve bond for Michelle Kennedy, First Assistant Auditor in the amount of $5,000. Is there a motion to approve the bond?
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? I want to ask, is it 1 year, 4 year? Is that? No.
Don't ask that.
Got a motion, a second? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 8, discuss and consider approval of donation of labor from Vanzant Master Gardener's Program to the Vanzant County for landscape work at the Vanzant County Courthouse and District Attorney's Office. Joe Carter will address the court.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Hey, real quick, last time I was on the agenda for this and I had asked for a donation. And I retired from the state, worked for them for 31 years without me thinking. I understand we can't do a donation. I was in a hurry when I put that on the minutes, didn't give it full thought because I had a couple of other things going. I just want to make that clear today. Number one, Master Gardeners didn't ask for a donation. That was me trying to figure out a way to make this program work. We're trying to get this up and started from around him and too well taken care of and trying to get some volunteer labor, get some community interest into it. I was looking at a way to get this thing funded and talk to the commissioner, talk to the judge. I believe we can do it through regular funds. We have to maintain these yards, keep them up. There's a cost to it. If we went and hired landscaping done, it would be a good bit more money. Any kind of landscaping, even minimal landscaping, a good bit more money than what we're talking about. So anyway, we'll make a clarification on that. What I've done is gone back and talked to Sandy and asked for a request to move some money around. It's on the, it all comes in the building maintenance fund. It's just moving additional money. I think $1,250 over. There's $750 in the account. I forget what the account's called. Lawn supplies, lawn maintenance, and it's come from the building fund over to that, which we use that anyway. And some of the stuff we've done on the lawn, I just want to move $1,250 over there, and that's what that money will be used for.
Yeah.
Is for grounds here in the DA's office.
Okay, is there approval of the donation of labor or any questions for Joe?
So we're accepting them providing labor to work.
They're gonna, it's volunteer labor. It's a program they do. It's annual. They do a program once a year on Master Gardeners. It's coming in the springtime and they'll do this. They do the, if you've been by the Ag Extension office, you've been by the Blackwell House, they do the landscaping over there. We'll do something here. If we have minimal landscaping, be something that's more weather tolerant, something designed more for where we're at here in Texas and not just plants being brought in. It'll look nice when they get done. Everything they've done is first class.
And I saw that you have a budget amendment in that category to cover moving your money to purchase the stuff with for them to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make a motion, we accept the donation of labor from the
Okay,
Master Gardeners program.
Second period.
got a motion by Commissioner Pratt, second by Commissioner Pearson. Any questions, discussion?
I'd like to say thank you for anybody that wants to donate their labor to help.
Yeah.
Vanzant County.
I feel the same way. We'll take all the help we can
Yes,
get.
sir.
Yes, sir. But make sure you understand, they didn't ask for a
Yeah.
donation. That was me trying to get this done in the way I work.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they do a great job and it's a great group.
it's all volunteer.
It is.
Yes.
And
Yep.
they do a great job.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
any other questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, sir.
Item number 9, discuss and consider allowing trimming of dead limbs and possible removal of up to 4 of the live oak trees around the courthouse. Joe, you want to address the court?
Yes, sir. I'll give you a copy of some pictures too. We discussed this a few times. We started out with 16 live oak trees here around the square. There's 4 on each side. We had one of the largest oak trees out here was in pretty bad shape. We went for moving it. We talked with Tommy Phillips, county agent, who got me in touch with Dr. Apple, is the way he pronounces his name, at Texas A&M. He's over the tree program. He's the go-to guy down there for trees. Sent him some pictures of the trees. He said the tree was an issue, public safety issue, between the pavement, the sidewalk, the traffic, the lack of watering, the age of the tree, the buckling, the sidewalk, the condition of trees, recommend the tree be removed. Trees were doing pretty good. Then the freeze, we kept them trimmed. The freeze came along last year. I think we're right here anniversary for a week. Today it may have been below 0 this morning, about a year ago. These trees have had a year. They're struggling. The pictures I gave to you, we'll just start off and flip through these. I didn't take pictures of all the trees. I took some pictures ones we got some issue with. If you look at picture number 1, this is a large tree right off y'all's left out here, right out the front out here on Dallas Street. The canopy's still fairly full. The tree's not looking like it should, but it's probably one of the best trees we've got left out there. Okay. If you flipped over to photograph number 2, I've outlined in yellow. This is a tree right here on the corner of Buffalo and Dallas Street. And we had to trim it pretty heavy last year. We got one limb. There's 4 main beams left on the tree. It's kind of deceiving the photograph you're looking at. It shows 3 beams. There's 4 main beams coming off the base of the tree. We had to heavily trim it over the top because the trucks, right on top of trucks coming down Highway 64. We trimmed it up pretty good. The beam that I've got circled in yellow there, you can see about midways up, just below the fork, there's a good bit of bark falling off it. That limb is dead. So we take that beam out. It's going to leave 3 beams on there. It's kind of an odd shaped tree, and it's not. If you look off to the left, the beam going off to the left, you'll see it's also doesn't have any bloom on it. I believe that's going to be dead up there. By the time if we trim any of the dead out of this, that tree's going to have a minimal amount of limbs left to recover with. Also, removal of it may assist this other tree, the larger tree here, the one's in better shape. All right, flip over to photograph number 3. It's the same picture. It just shows that beam that goes over Highway 64. Same tree, just a different angle I took this morning. You can kind of see the beam that goes over kind of how the tree is shaped and a lot of the dead here in the top. Photograph 4 is going to be the next tree past it, which is over here on Buffalo Street. You'll see the sun shining on it. You'll see the gray main beam going up. I believe that limb, the whole limb is going to be dead. As I'm going along addressing these, as this is going along, look at these trees, because I keep watching as I talk to the judge and some of you about it. Oh, I don't know, for a couple of years now, talking about some of these trees, just to check her in. We trimmed them, I believe, 2 years ago. Going on 2 years. When I originally put this on the agenda, I thought at some point in the future, maybe as many as 4 trees we need to take out. As this has gone along, I walk back out here and look at the trees again. There's some of them may make it that I thought wouldn't. There's a couple of them that may not make it that I thought would. So they're kind of covered here in the photograph. Go to photograph 5. This is over here on the side. It is the second tree over here from the corner of 64, right behind us, directly behind us. You can see it has very little bloom left in it. Photograph 6 is the one down there at the corner of Tyler Street in Buffalo. It's a smaller tree. It's got it smothered out by the trees on each side of it. You can see the shape of the tree and the size of it, and the canopy is covered up from the other. Photograph 7 is over here in front of the picket mule. And you can see it's got some disease at the back of the trunk. It goes up about head high. There's a pretty good bit there. It's dead at the top of it. You flip over to number 8. It's photographed in front of the tree in front of Pat Squirrel's office. You can see how thin the canopy is on it. And number 9 is the tree right over on the corner of Dallas and Capitol Street. There's a few dead beams up in it. We're, I don't know, a couple of months away from springtime coming in. We can give these trees a little bit more time to look at it. I highly recommend we go ahead and at least get these things trimmed out. I had gotten bids back in November from a couple of different tree services to come in and do the trimming and trim these dead limbs out that we're looking at. We may want to do some trimming on them. This one tree out here is one I asked for consideration on about removal. The first one we did, I've got the outline on the dead beam up here, it's only leave 3. We can trim these others and see what springtime or early summer brings with them and see if some of the trees I'm thinking years past. And you can see the first picture of what the canopy should look like. They are live oak trees, what the canopy should look like. And you can see kind of the state that some of them are in now. I didn't take pictures of all the trees, took pictures of ones other than the first one, the ones I was most concerned about.
Any questions for Joe?
Looks like number 5 is pretty much gone.
I'm afraid it is. It bloomed. If you'll look at it, you walk out there, it's got buds on it, it had some blooms. And I watched it through the summer and it looked like it was going to recover. You can see all the fine, smaller limbs. And walking under it, it just, there's not much there. And I mean, the expense just for trimming these limbs out was the best bid we got to trim these things out, trim bid, I think it's $5,100. And then go up from there just to trim. Well, I take it back. That $5,100 was to remove 4 trees. Let me backtrack that. Because when I had them bid it with 4 trees we're going to remove, plus trimming the dead out. So it'd be a good bid on that. The cheapest bid we got is $5,100 for 4 trees removed. 4 trees removed and trimming the others. And I'll get a new bid from them, depending on what we decide to do on the trees.
So you want to remove number 5?
Number 2 is the one I'm concerned with. Number 5 I'm concerned with. We had when it rained, what, 2 weeks ago, we had the 2 days off because of ice and snow. We just missed the ice storm. The ice storm went just north of Lincoln County, got hit pretty hard back over there with the ice. It just wasn't cold enough here when the rain was coming. If we get the ice storm, it could cause some issues with those tree limbs.
Number two,
Yes, sir.
removal, what other?
I was looking, like, set up to 4. We could trim the dead out of these and give them a few more months to see what they do. I would think if they don't, these things normally, these live oak trees bloom twice a year. They bring spring and fall. This one's almost bare out here. It's holding some dead leaves. The big tree out here off the driveway also, big nice oak tree out here. It came back in the summer blooms. You'll look at it. It's got a lot of dead on it.
But you want to remove 4 trees, right?
That was from up to 4 trees. The more I look at these, like I said, some that I thought would make it
Right.
are struggling, and some of the ones I thought may not do it, still have some green on them. We can take this one tree out, trim the others, and give it a few more months, and wait till springtime, because we're going to it's been a year. It should have had 2 more blooms by now. We can give it a few more months to see if it needs to recover. I just don't know if it would. These trees been here for, I don't think they were planted here originally when the courthouse was here. They were planted sometime shortly after. But you can see some, I mean, look, the tree out here is outgrown itself.
But if you don't take them out now, you may be trimming one now, paying to trim one now. You gotta
That's-
take it out front.
That's what I'm
That's-
trying to
that's-
figure out.
yes, sir.
What
And that's-
trees do you want to take out right now?
There's about 4 out there that probably need to come out.
Okay,
I've had both the tree companies that came and looked.
and that's what,
Number 2.
number 2,
Number 2, number 6, number 7, and number 9 were the 4 we looked at. And while we're,
So 2, 6, 7, and 9.
yes, sir. While we're discussing this also, I had talked with a couple of other services that came out. It's a program, it's an accepted practice, it's a recommended practice, Texas A&M. It's an injection that they do. They bore in these trees every so many inches. They bore in these trees and give injections. They can treat them with stimulant to get roots and canopy to grow, fertilize, whatever they do to it. And also they inject it for, they can treat diseases and also for bugs in the stations. To get all these trees injected, we're looking somewhere, the 2 bids I got were over $7,000 and one was over $8,712 to inject these trees with no guarantee that they'll live. It's a recommended program. There is some success with it. Is it 100%? No, it's not. It'd be just a shot at trying to get these trees recovered.
I would say on number 6, we might hard to wait on number 6 to see what happens in the spring.
Yes, sir.
That's some pretty good growth on it right now.
It does. It's just, it's between the 2, and that's the only reason I was looking. There is some dead. The top of it is hard to get pictures of the photograph. That download lots of photos provided to you. There is a little bit dead that we can trim out of it. Yeah, that's whatever y'all think.
Whatever the other commissioners want and the judge, I don't know, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I hate losing the trees. They're, some of them are struggling.
Well, I agree with you, Virgil. I think 5 needs to come out. Look to me like, I mean, there's nothing left there unless you're gonna trim it way, cut it way back.
And it's been November since he was here. Whenever he came, we were looking at these 4 trees. Just watching this tree number 5 out here, it's just struggling. It never did bloom anything back out. It got, you can see some buds on it, but they didn't do much.
Looks like it needs to come down.
Okay.
Take 5 instead of 6.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Any other discussion, questions?
And Joe, we need a plan. When you take a tree out, we got to put a tree in. We got to put something, we got to purchase another live oak or whatever it takes, but we've got to start replacing.
And the master gardeners, I've talked with them, I've talked with Tommy, and something we may want to look, we want to replace trees back in here. Because everybody
everybody's in and out of the building. I mean, people, you come up here during the day, people are sitting here on the benches when the weather's nice. You come up here at night, they go up here and get coffee, they go up here to eat. There are people sitting on the bench. There's Wi-Fi here. You can come back here at midnight when the weather's decent. There's people around the square here. But we may want to look at some trees, y'all's call, maybe they're not quite so big, don't take up, when they mature out, they won't be as large and outgrowing their space and between the sidewalk and the street too. There's some other trees out there we can look at.
Sure.
Fit it through well.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are beautiful trees. I wish we had a bigger lawn and a little more room, we'd probably do a little better.
Is there any concern with the historical commission on this?
When I've talked with Elvis in the past about this, he said their concern was with this building, the building itself and what's inside of it. As far as the outside here, they weren't so much worried about it. I could verify with him again, but I've got an email from him. I emailed him because I wanted to get it in writing to make sure we're good with them. And he said they were concerned with the building, the trees. He says it's a public safety issue and it's what it is. When I'm asking about these trees, if this was out in pasture, if this was out in the distance, I wouldn't so much worry about them. But up here around these sidewalks, people have an expectation to come up here and just worry about it. Drop the winds.
So is that a motion, Virgil, to remove number 2, 5, 7, and 9 and trim the others?
That's what my motion.
Second. Okay, that's your motion?
Yes.
Okay, and we got a second by Commissioner Pearson to remove tree number 2, 5, 7, and 9 in the photographs and trim the dead out of the rest.
Yes, sir.
And
Okay,
look at the best tree to replace that. You might get the master gardener's opinion on that.
She had mentioned some trees the other day. She mentioned several that would be good options to put in here that will give a fairly dense canopy without getting too big, would provide good shade. It would look nice, look attractive here in the courthouse. So, yes, we'll sure do it.
okay. Got a motion, a second. Any other questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. You may turn air conditioner on.
Joe, turn it on, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. Item number 10, discuss and consider implementing burn ban for Vanzant County. Sean, you want to address? Sean is our fire marshal.
Good morning, Commissioner. We're about in the same boat we were last week, a little bit better, maybe. Just looked this morning, the Keach Firearm Drought Index is showing us between 200 and 300, which is close. The high moisture is 100 to 0 to 100, 100, 200, 200, 300. So we're basically in a normal moisture rate at this point. I'm not recommending us do one right now. It looks like we may start getting into more rainy days coming in, hopefully. But we just don't have the data right now to support to say that it's even getting, it's more moisture than what last time we talked about.
And it's supposed to get some more than that.
Yes, sir.
So,
I
okay,
hope.
yeah. So there's,
So
do you want to table it and bring it back 2 weeks? Or do you want to
We
just
certainly
wait?
can, and then
Or you want to just wait and you put it, call and say, hey, we're gonna need to put that on the agenda.
I don't mind tabling it, and
Okay.
we'll look at it again in 2 weeks, and it looks like we're getting more into, it's on such a fine line right now.
Okay.
We got a lot of dry vegetation on the ground.
As stated, Pearson.
Okay.
Second.
They're making motions a second. What are you talking?
I'm sorry, I apologize. I thought you
No,
said.
Oh, no, that's what, they got a motion by Commissioner Pearson, second by Commissioner, which one second?
he can.
Commissioner LaFrette to table item number 10. We'll bring it back 2 weeks from now. Any other questions for Sean? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 11, discuss and consider allowing Vanzant County Fire Marshal Office to host a homeowner septic maintenance course.
So we'd like to table that as well. The guy that's offering to do the course, we have not gained his credentials from him yet. be able to verify his ability to do that. So I do think it's gonna be a good thing if we can, for those that want to be involved with it, but right now we just can't vouch for him. So
Okay.
he's gonna be able to teach what they, and it'd be something the state accepts.
Okay.
Motion table.
We got a motion to table, item number 11 by Commissioner LaPrade, second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 12, discuss and consider allowing sheriff's office to sell 16 vehicles in a Renee Bates online auction. Sheriff?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all? Okay, so we, of course, were able to procure some new vehicles last fall, and we have in our budget to actually purchase a few more. And so we're trying to get some of these off the books, and obviously, anything that we have, we maintain insurance on, so this will give us the ability to cancel the insurance on these vehicles. We originally had 16. We're actually asking for 12, there's 4 that we have some issues to get the titles to. I believe that us, along with Sandy's working to get those other 4 ironed out. 13, I'm sorry, 13 vehicles today. So we're just asking for permission to put those in the Bates online auction and get those sold and then put that money back into our vehicle purchase fund.
Okay, because I have 2 lists here. I have one with 16
Okay,
and I have one with 13.
13. That's
So we're not going with the 16.
now we got, I think, 3 in question there of the titles. Up there. And,
Okay. So you're asking permission to sell 13 vehicles
13 vehicles.
in the Renee Bates online auction.
What that 2020 Chevrolet pickup, what?
That was purchased by the previous administration. And that vehicle gets about 8 miles a gallon. And given the current gas prices, it's not feasible for us to drive it. One thing that Lieutenant Williams does is keeps a very accurate record of all of our maintenance and all of our expenses on each and every vehicle. And with gas at $3.24 a gallon right now, 8 miles a gallon, we're not even driving it. I mean, it's eating our gas budget up. So we have done some research. She's actually got some numbers here of what we can get that vehicle for and what we get for that vehicle. And we can put a reserve on it on the online auction. We're gonna make it available law enforcement only with all the lights and everything on it. And so we're gonna put a reserve on that of about 47,000. So if we don't get 47,000, we'll keep it. And so I think at 47,000, we're actually coming out ahead when we initially, or what the previous administration initially paid for it. Right now, the used car market is kicking. So.
Any other questions for the sheriff? Okay,
I make a motion to allow these 13 vehicles as listed going to Renee Bates auction.
okay. Is there a second?
Second.
We got a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions, discussion for the sheriff? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 13, discuss and consider allowing sheriff's office to sell old kitchen equipment in Renee Bates online auction.
Okay, and these are, we replaced our kitchen equipment back a few months ago in the kitchen. And so we have a stove and a stove, a flat top and range, and a deep fryer. And basically, we're just asking permission to sell those. They're worn out. And they're literally, when we got the new equipment, our lady that supervises the kitchen crew, brought her to tears with the new equipment because the other stuff was just being pieced together, trying to make it work all the time with 1 or 2 burners. So we got the new stuff, and we're just asking permission to sell this and get it off the books and see if we can get for it. Probably much, but nonetheless. It's just what my background is.
Is there a motion?
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner LaPrade, second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions, discussion?
Yeah, I hear you say it's not in service now.
No.
So I didn't hear that.
Disconnected that stuff.
Okay. Any other discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 14, discuss and consider allowing county judge to sign contract with Wrangler Roofing for roof maintenance for the main office building, the sheriff's office and jail. Sheriff?
So basically what, we had the new roof put on several, a few years ago, and there was a initial warranty maintenance agreement with that roof that went on. That has since expired a few months ago, back September, October. December. And so we have found another roofing company that also is certified to maintain the manufacturer's warranty on that roof. That stuff is in your packet there. And so we're just asking that we enter into an agreement to have them start maintaining that roof and actually maintain it. So I'll let Lieutenant Harrelson can elaborate a bit more on that.
They came out mid last year to deal with the metal roof on the second building that we have, the minimum security building. They found a lot of issues. They fixed all that and we've since not had any. Since he took over January of 21, we've continued to have issues with the main building. Even when they come out to do repairs, we still have leaks. I have 3 active leaks right now. When this company came out and did the minimum security building, I asked them to come back and just give me a bid, take a look at it. And they have given a very detailed list of everything that's wrong with the roof. It's been under warranty, maintenance warranty for the last 2 years. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed, a lot of flashing, there's a lot of penetration in the roof. And he said it looks like it's coming from the HVAC when they come and do repairs, they throw their screws down, leave them there. But this is so they will come twice a year during the change of the seasons. And they will check all the seals, do any minor repairs that need to be done to try to prevent us from having these issues.
Wouldn't you have to go out for bid on maintenance agreement?
Well, it's less than $50,000.
Oh,
So
less than 50,000. Okay.
Yeah, it's only 2.
2,800.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard we had any leaks.
Yeah, we've had leaks. When I took over, we had leaks. When I walked in the door, we had water poured in dispatch. And we made several calls to the previous company that finally came out. It took them a few times, they got it fixed. And we just continually have leaks in the building. We've just been calling and having them come back on the maintenance, the original maintenance agreement, fix them each time. But even all the issues we're having, we shouldn't have any issues with the brand new roof. So this company here, we believe will take better care of us than what the one has that initially put the roof on.
Okay. And I know Ms. Hill's checked on this. Ms. Hill, would you want, the material I think was guaranteed for 15 years.
14, the material's 10 years, but I'm trying to locate the actual roof guarantee for the GAF. Because when I tried to locate it last time, it said it was with the closeout documents that was submitted to the county at the end of the project. I don't know who has the closeout document. My office does not.
We have not.
I talked with Wrangler Roofing yesterday, and he wants a copy of that, and all I have is the guarantee that's signed. So he needs a copy of that signed with the date. Okay. I've reached out to Ellen Pay through email to see if they could provide me with a copy of that.
I had a hard time getting in touch with them for last year.
Okay. So we're looking for the contract. I think we ought to table it. I'm gonna make a motion to table this. Let's see if we can find out.
That's not a problem, but he needs a copy.
Yeah. I mean,
So you just need to locate a copy.
Yeah.
I don't know if the architect has it. Okay.
they should, but we'll,
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
out there.
okay. I'd make a motion to table it and let till we get some more information. And we know- That's my motion.
That's a second.
Okay, got a second by Commissioner Pearson. Is there any question or discussion?
Just a question, were these leaks going on before December?
Yeah, we had them come out and fix it several times. And now we've got another leak.
I have
Three leaks right now.
It's constant.
I think we need to get hold of our engineer. I mean, there's some things we need to pursue here. It's brand new roof, 2 years old, and the money we spent.
And just like she's talking about how she's had a hard time getting in touch with, that's our experience too, trying to fix that. Call. So sooner we can move past it, I think the better off we'll be.
I had, before we started contacting all this, I contacted them and they about all the problems with the roof. They came out and investigated it. And then at that time, we were trying to get that warranty. And when I got all these, we didn't contact them. I didn't know we had more issues.
Yeah, I didn't, I wasn't aware of it. Okay. Have a motion and a second to table. Any other discussion, questions? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 15, discuss and consider proposals from AIO Security Solutions for repair and replacement of JP Precinct 2 panic alarm system.
Judge, I make a motion, we table this. Are you gonna, I just want to upfront table this because we've got an engineer, Trout's gonna be looking at this to tie all our alarm systems into one big unit. And I'd like to see what Trout says on this, and if it does, if we can do this, we can get this done within our grant too. Is that not right, Commissioner?
That I called them yesterday to ask how whatever we do today would work in the new radio system. And so they gotta look in and see which possible we can work in whatever we need to fix the system into the RFP because the security works through the radio. And they haven't had a chance to get back with me.
Bit confused. They're who?
Trot Communications engineering firm we hired that is specking out the new P25 radio system. And it was mentioned that the panic buttons, they work through our current radio system. So we got to figure out how to make them all work on the new radio system when we go to it.
Okay,
And
that
he was
doesn't
gonna
have anything,
address
the way our system works is y'all have a brand new system here at the courthouse and it has a portable radio inside of it. Anytime a panic button is pushed, it communicates with the system. The system then broadcasts over the radio and sends a message out. So the radio itself is just an interface to the sheriff's communications. So when y'all get a new radio system, ideally, all you do is you take out that radio out of that old box, or the new box you have upstairs, and put a new radio inside of it. When you do that, then it creates the new link back to the sheriff's office, and everything works fine. So it's just a matter of purchasing a radio. The three proposals that I gave you for you guys to look at, just so there's no confusion, the first one is to replace the system that's down there with one that's similar to it. When you go with your new radio system, you would have to purchase a radio for this building. You would have to purchase a radio for that building. Sometimes those radios are very expensive. The second proposal I gave y'all is something called an IP expander. What it does is it allows you to put the panic buttons at the JP office and they communicate directly back with this machine. So eventually when you do upgrade your radios with whoever the company is, you just have to purchase one radio, not two, because now they're linked back to this machine via the internet or your network. So as y'all know, those radios are not cheap. So eventually some of the other locations like Wills Point, Ben Wheeler, and some of those that have panic buttons that operate on this first responder system, it might be more cost effective in the long run to put IP expanders at those locations. So that way you only have to purchase one radio for here at the courthouse. Because sometimes those radios can run anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 per radio. You know, they're not cheap at all. But my system doesn't have anything to do with the radio. When y'all purchase new radios, all we do is take the one out of the panic button system, give it back to the sheriff's office, put the new radio back in it, then you're back online. The only question is do you want to purchase radio later on, go with the cheap purchase, the cheap proposal for the JP2 office, which would require you to buy a new radio when y'all do change radios, or go with the middle option, which is to only have to purchase one radio for both locations, which that one seems more feasible than any of them. The third option, I just put it in there because just in case y'all wanted to look at it, what it would cost to buy a brand new system like what you have here over there and buy a radio, which would be, I wouldn't recommend that. It would just cost a lot. So the radio itself, the communications, tying everything together, that's something that's done down the road when y'all get your new radios. So just take one out, put a new one in. That's what I'm saying. So really, I would suggest either the first option or the second option. First option is putting a Band-Aid on it, maybe having to purchase a new radio down the road. Second option is tied into the courthouse. When the courthouse comes time for y'all to change the radios out, we're only looking at purchasing one radio instead of purchasing several radios. That's all.
Well, the current IP system in the courthouse ties directly into the one at the sheriff's office as well, don't it?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
So
But when y'all
theoretically, the IP the whole way then.
No, it's not IP. It does radio. The way it works is it
My
keys up the
terms may
radio.
be wrong, my
Right.
terminology.
Go ahead.
There's not a panic button system at the sheriff's office.
No, but it ties into the radio system. That's what it's.
Yeah, broadcast over. the
Yeah, so a panic button gets pushed, triggers the machine triggers the radio, it sends out a message over the sheriff's radio. It also sends out text and email blasts to the new style system. All the other buildings are really old, so they don't have the capabilities that this one does. Well, now we have the ability to piggyback off of this system, which is the middle proposal. So you don't have the additional cost of the radio, you have the IP text, email blast, and it will integrate with any new radio that y'all purchase.
Which is what we do in the DA's office, right?
What's that?
DA's office.
Yeah, they're integrated with
Very
the
integrated.
others, so it's just a matter of, do y'all want to piggyback off the system, which I would suggest. If I was gonna do it, it's not much money, compared to having to purchase a new system, new radio, new all that stuff. And the only reason why I sent all that information over is because I knew y'all were looking at a new radio system down the road. And I wanted y'all to be able to look at it and say, hey, it might be cheaper to go with purchase order number one, proposal number one right now, but 4 months down the road or a year down the road when we buy new radios, then it's gonna cost us another, $5,000. And I
And
don't
that's
think-
kind of where we was at. I had reached out to the engineers and gave them your information, but I didn't reach out to you yesterday. And y'all haven't had a chance to talk to find all that out. And I think it was kind of the thought behind tabling it now was to give y'all a chance to talk and see what would work out.
Either way, even if I do talk to them, which is fine if you're on the table, but even if I do talk to them, all we're talking about is doing is taking the radio out, putting the radio in. And that's simple.
Yeah, you're
All I
talking
need is a
about-
wire harness and a radio. So when y'all purchase one for this one, then I just need a wire harness and a radio. It wouldn't have any effect on any of the.
It'll cover the radio purchase itself.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm kind of interested, you was talking about how you was gonna tie it in without a radio to here, and that's where I'm wondering, because this building is tied to the sheriff's office, if we could go all the way through without the radio.
It's
at
not
all.
tied to the
No,
sheriff's
that's different. It's not gonna go across IP all the way to the sheriff's office. It's still gonna broadcast the signal on the radio.
Yeah, so it's all radio based and text and email based right now. But the sheriff's office didn't have any panic buttons. They had nothing. You have to have an IP expander in order to put panic buttons at the location. That's what creates the bridge back to the courthouse. So.
The only reason that we should wait to see if the grant money covers the cost. So, I
Everybody's
don't know.
confused on
That's,
It would cover the cost of the radio, but
well,
I think we still need to put this IP solution in place. We are gonna probably have to replace the one with the DA's office eventually.
No,
Oh,
we won't.
yeah, we would, because it's that one that's. got the
It's a,
separate-
it's a repeater. It's got a wireless bridge. It had a line, sorry, it's fine.
Okay.
The DA's office.
What about the East Annex?
East Annex would have to have those. Everybody else, the East Annex, Benwheeler, Wills Point,
Not
Grants Lane, Oh, because they do, yeah, they have a different radio system. So those locations, those 3 locations, eventually they have an old style radio in them. So you're gonna have to make a choice of a year from now, whenever y'all get the radios, if y'all wanna buy new radios for those systems, or do what we're gonna do over here at the JP office, if y'all approve it, is link them back to this machine and let them piggyback off this radio.
No matter what we do with the radios, no matter what Trot does, we're still gonna need to put something in over here, either one of those 2 options.
Yeah,
And I do recommend that second.
I understand that, but wouldn't grant money pay for the? for
Not the panic button system, not the repeat, not the actual link. It'll pay for the radio, I think, for that, but I can't imagine
Huh?
that.
We've asked Mr. Bass at the meeting, but I doubt it.
What hurt to find out?
Yeah.
What I was thinking.
Which way to kind of open that up, I don't know.
I just think we need to find out. We've got a meeting with him 11 o'clock, so.
Sure. And if he needs to call me, talk to me about it.
You're welcome, stay.
Yeah.
It's an
It's
open
an
meeting
open meeting.
at 11 o'clock today.
We have nothing over there working right now.
There's nothing working. So
How long has it been
DA's
down?
office, probation, we have probation, indigent healthcare, the JP has no 911 system.
Well, I'm telling you, the way this grant stuff's working, you're looking at, at 2 years, before you're gonna have security over there, or panic button over there, that's not gonna work.
I will say this, you can't get into JP2. I mean, she's got bulletproof glass over there, reinforced doors. You can't get into that office.
yeah, it's in the probation office too.
It's a probation office. But some of those probation, they carry weapons, the probation officers. Now, I understand it's a concern, but it's pretty secure the way it is right now. I mean, I think we can hold off 2 weeks until we can find out. We put this back on the agenda in 2 weeks, and we just need to find out some information.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I made the motion to table it.
I heard you say at the beginning,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to table it. I didn't hear a motion.
I'll make a motion, we table it.
Okay, got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a second by Commissioner LaFreda. Any question, discussion?
What is the cost of that?
The IP
55,
option was 55.
50, 55, 50.
Oh.
I'll go with
And
55.
stay for the meeting. We'll find out.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
find
stay
out.
for the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be more than happy to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good deal. Thank
okay,
you.
we have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
No discussion.
Yeah, discussion.
We need a guarantee this is gonna come back in 2 weeks. I know how we operate. We table something, we're gonna get back to it 6 months later, we hadn't looked at it.
Okay.
Where's
You'll
Jennifer?
make my motion before we come
Oh,
back in
that's-
2 weeks?
Yes, sir, if you
Or
would,
just-
so
Yeah, just wait. Jennifer, bring it back in 2 weeks.
perfect, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
all in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Those opposed, same sign.
We'll get it straightened
Motion
out.
carried.
We'll get it straightened out.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Item number 16, discuss and consider approval of fiscal year 2022 budget amendments. You have the budget amendments before you.
Motion to approve, Pearson.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pearson. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner LaFreda. Any questions or discussion about the budget amendments? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 17, discuss and consider monthly reports submitted by various office and departments of county government approval of entry of the same in the court's minutes as a matter of record. You have the reports before you.
Mr. West is not here, but this is really an unfair deal here because of February. We've got them all at 5, and we still have to the end of the month to get them in. So I make a motion, we accept the ones we have, and the ones that haven't done it are not in trouble.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pearson to approve the reports that's been submitted. Is there a second?
Second.
You got a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions or discussion about the reports that's been submitted? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll move to item number 18, as a closed executive session in compliance with section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code to seek the advice of its attorney regarding pending and completed, consultation with its attorney regarding matters protected by attorney-client privilege.